A very somber mood today in Jessamine County as hundreds came out to say goodbye to the young couple killed in the attack on Brussels airport last month.
It's pervasive throughout the state.
The FBI is making it their mission to put an end to corruption in Kentucky, how they're using attorney Eric C. Kahn's arrest as an example.
And they're off. Keeneland Spring Meet is underway.
Even though it's raining, I know that it's still going to be fun.
But did the rainy weather put a damper on attendance?
WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
Good evening. A crash has shut down part of a busy Lexington road this afternoon.
Police tell us that about 2:30, a car turning onto Old Richmond Road from DeLong Road pulled into the path of a pickup truck and the two collided. The driver of the car was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. Old Richmond Road is shut down between Athens, Boonesboro Road and DeLong. Police hope to reopen that road in the next 15 minutes, and we will certainly keep you updated.
It was one last chance for them to say goodbye. Today, a Lexington native and her husband killed in Belgium during a terrorist attack at the Brussels airport were laid to rest.
Stephanie and Justin Schultz's visitation and funeral were open to the public today. Hundreds stopped by to support the family. Our Caitlin Setner is at Southland Christian Church with our top story at 6.
They came home the wrong way.
After an agonizing couple of weeks for family and friends, Stephanie and Justin Schultz's bodies were brought back to Lexington.
I couldn't even imagine what they were going through. Yeah, my friend called me to tell me what happened, and I was just speechless. And you pray for them, hold them closer.
A very tough day Friday for hundreds who said their final goodbyes to the couple at Southland Christian Church in Jessamine County. We're told the couple was praised for their sense of adventure.
I was kind of off to the side, but it was just quiet and somber.
They were very talented kids, and they were Christians. And so even though they left tragically, they're in a better place now, for sure.
The weather today very much matched the mood, but as soon as service ended, the sun shone through the clouds.
It was very tough, very tough to see my friends watch their daughter get carried away, and I couldn't imagine what they're going through. You know, I just couldn't imagine.
Police escort took family and friends to Bluegrass Memorial Garden, where the couple referred to as perfect was laid to rest.
In times of tragedy like this, you just kind of pull together and try to be like a family and do what families would do.
In Jessamine County, Caitlin Setner, WKYT.
Justin's family is also planning to hold a memorial this weekend in Tennessee.
A man charged in connection to a Lexington murder case will not go to trial. Timothy Ballard was scheduled to be in court this morning for a hearing, but instead he pled guilty to kidnapping and evidence tampering in the death of Alex Johnson. Police say Ballard helped Mark Taylor lure Alex Johnson into a car in December of 2013 before Taylor beat Johnson to death and dumped his body in the Kentucky River. As part of the plea deal, Ballard agreed to testify against Taylor during his trial in June. The Commonwealth recommended Ballard serve 20 to 25 years. He'll be sentenced after Taylor's trial.
The FBI says they are working to put an end to corruption in Kentucky. Earlier this week, Kentucky attorney Eric C. Kahn, a retired judge, and a psychologist were arrested. All three have been charged with defrauding the government out of $600 million worth of disability benefits. Miranda Combs tells us how the FBI is cracking down on cases like this.
We talked to an FBI agent connected to Eric Kahn's case, which he says was a result of targeting corruption, even saying that a Harvard study has identified Kentucky as a top corruption state. And he says Kahn and his accused conspirators are a perfect example.
It goes back to the issue of the culture in Kentucky and how accepting the citizenry seems to be, or at least at some level seems to be, of corruption. It's pervasive throughout the state.
And he has the state's ear now as a high-profile corruption case makes its way through the federal court system.
It was almost like an open secret. Everyone talked about how suspicious it was and that it was going on, and yet it was allowed to go on for quite a while.
And the case was years of legwork for agents. The investigation into Eric Kahn's alleged scheme to fraudulently get more than $600 million in federal disability payments for thousands of Social Security claimants involved others. Dr. Alfred Bradley Adkins was a clinical psychologist who worked for Kahn, and retired Judge David Dougherty, who was released from custody on a $50,000 bond. But FBI agent Howard Marshall says he's the big get.
I'm afraid sometimes a little bit with Kahn, as important a figure as he is, the even bigger issue is the administrative law judge. Kahn is a private citizen running a business, but the administrative law judge is somebody that we hope has the best interests of the public at heart, and in this case, per the indictment, he did not.
Yesterday, a federal judge delayed ruling in Kahn's detention hearing. Marshall's response to the possibility of Kahn getting out was he would hate for his agency to have to focus their attention on a fugitive investigation instead of the case if he were to flee. Miranda Combs, WKYT.
Miranda, thank you. The FBI has set up a hotline last summer just for Kentuckians to call in possible corruption cases. New tonight, a lawsuit against Governor Bevin over the budget cuts to colleges could come next week. A spokesperson for State Attorney General Andy Beshear says he will not file a lawsuit against the governor before Monday. Last week, Governor Bevin ordered a 4.5% budget cut at all colleges and universities. Beshear says Bevin's action is illegal, and he gave Governor Bevin 7 days to rescind his order or face a lawsuit. That timeline ended at the close of business today.
It's probably not the weekend forecast you picture for April in Kentucky. We're tracking a cold start to the weekend.
Yeah, we have rain, snow showers, all of it moving across the region. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has an early check of that forecast.
Yeah, it's ugly out there. It's been a rather ugly day overall across the Bluegrass State. Depending on exactly where you are right now, you range from the mid-30s to the low 40s in most areas. Under a rain or snow shower, that temperature has bottomed out now into the mid-30s. 43 Lexington. Look at Mount Sterling, though. 37 degrees, that current thermometer reading. Let's factor the winds into the mix here in just a moment, and we'll show you wind chills that are down into the 20s. Look upstream. Readings are even colder, and all that air continues to work its way on in from northwest to southeast. Right now, it feels like 31 into Mount Sterling, Lexington at 35 degrees. Here is the live sky cam in Lexington. It looks like a stormy afternoon. We actually had thunder and lightning a little bit ago. Unfortunately, with that thunder and lightning, some rain and snow showers. Right now, leading edge of a little bit of sleet, rain, and snow pressing into eastern Kentucky. Where you see the reds, that's where we're likely getting in on some sleet and some snow. Lexington Metro, one little sleet shower between Lawrenceburg and Versailles. And as we go into the overnight, we'll track additional rounds of snow showers into the region with a brand new hour-by-hour forecast when I come back in a few minutes.
Thanks, Chris. And while it doesn't feel much like spring out there, today is the kickoff of Keeneland's spring meet.
But the soggy weather didn't stop this afternoon's races. Our Mike Linden is live for us at Keeneland. Mike, we all want to know, did the weather stop people from coming out to enjoy the races?
Reader to take it.
Not really, Amber. There's still plenty of people left. You just saw the final race of the day finished behind me. We've seen people dressed up in suits, sundresses, even a service dog in a bow tie. So it's safe to say that even though the weather wasn't all that great, it still didn't stop race fans from coming out to the track. Cooler than normal temperatures and near overcast skies, and as Chris said, thunder and lightning wasn't enough to keep crowds away from Keeneland today. Officials say despite the abnormal weather, attendance was approximately 12,013 people. That's about 500 less than last year. Really not a big drop-off. Even with cold temperatures, race fans say the atmosphere at Keeneland is always fun, regardless if Mother Nature brings the goods.
It's just the atmosphere, and it's just fun. I mean, it's just a good day. It's the best way to relax I can think of.
I just love watching the horses race. I love betting. I just think it's a great time, like, to hang out with friends.
The spring meet continues until Friday, April 29th. There is no racing on Monday and Tuesday, and as you can see behind me here, it looks like the race is wrapped up at the right time. Live in Lexington, Mike Linden, WKYT.
Always a good time, no matter the weather. Keeneland officials say attendance could potentially double tomorrow.
A living legend came to Lexington this week on the 46th anniversary of Apollo 13's escape from disaster. Captain Jim Lovell is 88 now, but remembers all the decisions and problem solving that helped save him and his crew back in April of 1970. We had the chance to meet the Apollo 13 commander to learn more about teamwork, dedication, and attitude. In this video from the first 2 days in space, the Apollo 13 crew enjoys a fairly routine mission to the moon.
Suddenly an explosion, and suddenly it brought out the true talents of the mission control team and the people that work with them.
Captain Jim Lovell, now 88, says they thought a meteor had slammed into their spacecraft. Instead, a spark led to 2 of the 3 oxygen tanks exploding, shutting down just about everything they needed to survive in space and return to Earth.
And we also always had communication with mission control. So they had a large body of people that put all their heads together, and so they could, think of things that we could do with what was on board, so we could use.
The Apollo 13 commander came to Lexington to speak at the UK Sanders Brown Center on Aging Foundation dinner. His message? Teamwork from hundreds of people on the ground at NASA, plus leadership, saved the Apollo crew.
In life, if you don't have a positive attitude, regardless of what you do, you're lost, because you have to look ahead, you have to keep things, you have to figure out how to get around problems that you've had. We all have had crises. Crises don't bother me anymore.
Houston, we have a problem. Lovell says the movie Apollo 13, starring Tom Hanks, did a good job portraying what happened. And he proved he also has a sense of humor when things go wrong.
That's why I think it's still...
During our interview, a light stand fell, causing a loud noise and startling both of us. Hopefully that's not a sign of what's to come.
Well, I'm used to things going wrong,
That's very good. That was Captain Lovell's last trip into space. And for the record, Captain Lovell told me that Kevin Costner was his first choice to play him in the movie Apollo 13, but he ended up liking the job that Tom Hanks did. Yeah, Hanks did a pretty good job.
Still ahead, Tyler Eulis is racking up the awards, but he could pick up one of his biggest honors tonight. What's on the line for Eulis coming up in about 10 minutes.
And it's an annual tradition. Fans wait hours for a special edition Maker's Mark bottle. We'll tell you who this year's bottle is honoring next on WKYT.
WKYT is putting the new back in late news with newer stories and more updates. So there's less repetition, which means no wasted time. WKYT News at 11. Newer, fresher, worth staying up for.
Farmers' hours are sun up to sundown. John Deere and Central Equipment are experts in the tools of their trade, like the new 5 E-Series from John Deere with open operator station in the 5045E through 5101E. See the E-Series and full line of John Deere equipment at Central Equipment.
What's the biggest thing in home comfort? Fayette Heating and Air, the largest HVAC company in Central Kentucky. When your system needs service, bigger is better. That's because they have more than 70 vehicles on the road. So there's one near your home 24/7, 365. Call to schedule your complete system checkup, only $59. For expert service day or night, everywhere in Central Kentucky.
It's This Weekend, the monthly show at 8th and Schoolhouse Antiques this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's your chance to shop room after room of quality antiques and collectibles from over 70 dealers. This weekend at 8th and Schoolhouse Antiques on Richmond Road, a mile past I-75.
You don't have to wear smaller diamonds.
The Castle is the biggest discounter of diamonds, fine jewelry, and pre-owned Rolex watches. Shop 10 Castle locations or thecastlejewelry.com.
There's lots of ways to relax at Cracker Barrel Old Country Store because every day we freshly prepare a variety of home-style meals. Serve fresh-baked, made-from-scratch biscuits and offer our breakfast day or night at prices that are downright comfortable, starting at $5.99. With so many old favorites and new specials to choose from, you could make relaxing a regular thing. So stop on by. You're always welcome.
Garages have many uses. So use yours in the best way possible with amazing deals on terrific Honda products, like the all-new, more powerful Honda Civic with improved ride and handling plus a roomier interior. Winner gets to drive.
The Honda Dream Garage sales event is happening now. And you've got a garage to fill.
Come in and get a great deal on an all-new Civic. Now at your Honda dealer.
This week on Wheel.
Sun, sand, surf, and romance.
It's Sandals Resorts Week. Wheel's having fun in the Caribbean sun.
This is my boyfriend, John.
Don't miss it.
Wheel of Fortune, tonight at 7 on WKYT.
You just don't care how many lives you destroy, how many people you kill. No, I don't.
His real name is Hunter Zoll.
He's a convicted serial killer.
UK, lock up the darkness.
The John Deere Gator, a work or play horse. Get your favorite model at Central Equipment. The RSX 850i is all new and all powerful, and the heavy-duty XUV offers 1,500 pounds of towing and 1,400 pounds of payload capacity. Visit Central Equipment for your John Deere Gator.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
It is the best of both worlds for bourbon and basketball fans.
Yeah, people waited in line for hours this morning to get this year's Maker's Mark commemorative bottle. This year's bottle features former UK basketball coach Joby Hall and honors that 1978 NCAA basketball championship team. The bottle was on sale for $55. A woman who was first in line says she waits in line every year.
I've been doing this for quite a few years now. I used to collect them for myself and my dad. He was part of the 101 committee. I've since lost him, but I still get the bottles for myself.
Well, get in line for this. 4 players from the 1978 team will sign this year's bottle at Keeneland a week from today.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Pretty wild weather day here in early April across the Bluegrass State. Everything from some small hail/sleet to some wet snowflakes to some rain and a threatening sky with a little sunshine. Oh, and it's cold. Take a look outside. Live Skycam Lexington now. And what you're looking at in the distance is a little small hail/sleet shower that is working into the west side of town. So that little sliver of sunshine that we have out there now is not going to have a very long lifespan. 43 degrees. That gusty wind making it feel like it is 35 for folks who are heading out and about right now. And overall, that cold pattern is going to carry us right on into the start of the weekend. We look at our Defender radar network and across eastern Kentucky. Let's draw your attention to this little area of red. That is where we're likely going to get some small hail and sleet that could cover the ground, at least briefly. And just over the past few minutes, I've noticed a few lightning strikes coming out of northern Clay County into Boonville, into Owsley County. So folks around Manchester, up into Boonville, and eventually toward Jackson and Breathitt County, thunder and lightning. I had some of that in Lexington a little bit ago with some sleet and snow falling with the rain. Liberty, Casey County, northward we go toward Lexington and Georgetown, where a couple of those sleet showers are on the move as of now. Broaden out the view, look back to the northwest. Cold winds continue to blow, and it's ugly for your Friday evening. Models continues to suggest that we have another round or two of a snow shower flurry tonight into tomorrow morning. We've primed you for this possibility for a couple of weeks now, and also the freeze warnings that are out tonight and likely again tomorrow night. Let's walk you through that forecast for the weekend. By 11 this evening, that action into Indiana is right on top of central and eastern Kentucky. Wouldn't be surprised if after sunset, middle of the night, you have colder air coming in, a little heavier snow shower works into a neighborhood or two if we don't get a rooftop coating in a few spots. 20s tomorrow morning. Sun tomorrow afternoon, not going to do a whole lot to warm us up. A lot of low 40s around. We go into the day on Sunday. Another freeze to start things out, though by the afternoon, clouds are increasing. Rain not too far behind. That should arrive as we go into Sunday night and Monday with some showers and thunderstorms. Wouldn't you know it, as temperatures try to get back to normal, look what happens. We knock them back down again Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Into next week, though, I see a milder pattern slowly beginning to emerge as we make a run towards 70. In between now and then, green thumbs, you've got your work cut out for you.
At least part of Sunday's kind of okay.
Saturday,
or at least,
Sunday afternoon looks decent.
Good.
All things considered, looks great.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Can't wait. Keeneland opens today, but we also have room for basketball, right?
Yeah, Tyler Eulis could grab a national honor tonight, but he's got some stiff competition. And we continue with our week-long series on the incoming freshmen. Tonight, it's Big Bam Adebayo.
Stay connected to the news that matters to you. Follow WKYT on Twitter.
Dare to compare LG's new OLED TV, $19.99 at Best Buy, just $16.49 at PRAS. Save $149 over Home Depot on this Amana refrigerator, plus free gift cards up to $500.
Nobody beats PRAS.
Lexington Overstock Warehouse is open this weekend for our Spring Savings Warehouse Sale. Get quality furniture and mattresses at incredibly low prices. Slush sectional $597. Restonic Queen Mattress and Box $248. Go to LexingtonOverstockWarehouse.com for more details.
Are you happy with your bathroom? I wasn't, until I learned about Bathfitter. Bathfitter puts a new bathtub right over your old one. Isn't that amazing? Bathfitter will measure, custom make, and install right over your existing tub. And only Bathfitter has seamless walls, which guarantees a watertight fit. Plus, they do it all in just one day. I know because I did it.
Our Splash in a Savings event is going on now. Call 888-997-1357 and save up to $500 plus a free upgrade package.
You know, Kentucky weather is what it is. For those of us who've lived here our entire lives, we've just accepted the fact that we're never going to be able to control it. I remember growing up in Sayersville and wondering, what is it about Kentucky that makes our weather so ridiculous? And that passion to understand it has led me to where I am today. While I still can't control it, I sure as heck really understand it. I'm WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey, and I stand for Kentucky.
Building the only trucks with the best horsepower, best towing, best torque, and best payload takes guts. Overcoming any obstacle, that's the glory. Get a great deal on the trucks that give you both during Ram Truck Month.
Returning FCA US lessees financing get $10,750 in total values on the purchase of a 2016 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab.
Hey, America! I'm getting fired up for Golden Corral's new Fired Up Favorites. They're launching flavor to a whole new level. I'm heading there now! It's endless baby back ribs, wings, and tenders, and bold new flavors like mango habaneros, sriracha, garlic parmesan, and classic buffalo. All for one low price. Rough flight, great landing. Fired Up Favorites only at Golden Corral, the best buffet in the USA.
Do you want to lose weight quickly and safely? Do you want to be healthy for a lifetime? Kim did and lost 238 pounds at Ageless Medical Weight Loss. Betty did and lost 135 pounds. The Ageless program is a medically supervised, affordable weight loss solution. Call today for a free consultation.
Get this Tempur-Pedic bundle with mattress, adjustable base, 2 memory foam pillows, mattress protector, and a free 50-inch TV. As low as $49 a month with the power of 60 months, 0 interest.
Nobody beats PRAS.
Tyler Eulis is arguably one of the most decorated and beloved players to ever wear the UK blue and white. Tonight, Eulis could add to his already impressive haul of postseason awards. Eulis is in L.A. for the College Basketball Award Show, where he's a finalist for the Bob Cousy Award, given annually to the nation's best point guard. Eulis, one of 5 finalists for that honor, which can be seen on ESPN tonight at 8 o'clock. Eulis, Jamal Murray, Skal Labissiere have all announced they are not returning to UK next season, but John Calipari will still have a heralded group coming in, which includes big man Bam Adebayo. Lee K. Howard has more.
If there's one incoming recruit Kentucky basketball could have used last season, it's Bam Adebayo. At 6'9", 260 pounds, Bam has a physical physique unlike many players his age.
He's such a physical, imposing presence. You know, at 6'8", 6'9", he's big, he's strong, he's got this chiseled frame, and he runs the floor really well. He gets end to end and rim to rim extremely well, and he's able in the high school season to get a lot of points off that, beating other guys down the floor. I also think he's going to be a really good rebounder at Kentucky.
I just play hard. I mean, everybody has to have a good work ethic, just able to be in the gym constantly without just, you know, being tired and getting tired of doing it. I just got a passion for it, so I mean, I just play hard, got a motor. I just play hard every possession.
Scout.com's Evan Daniels says Adebayo can still improve on his offensive skills.
I think the next step with him is really developing his post game and some go-to moves on the block.
Adebayo joins a talented recruiting class and is expected to step in and make an immediate impact for the Wildcats.
We have high hopes and we have big expectations. So we just got to go out there and prove what we made of.
Lee K. Howard, WKYT.
It's opening day at Keeneland, and that means tomorrow it's the 92nd running of the Bluegrass Stakes. It's a full field of 14 going to the post, including Twiz, who broke his maiden last time out at the fairgrounds. He's trained by Mike Maker and has a handful of local owners.
It kind of slipped up on us. He had such a good win his last time out in the maiden race down in New Orleans. Mike said, let's take a shot with him. And, you know, we were the last horse into the field, and hey, we're taking a shot.
He's run 4 times. It took him a little while to figure out how to run, but he's figured it out, and his last race was amazing, and he's training really well, and we're going to take a shot.
28th running of the Transylvania within the past hour. Grade 3 stakes for 3-year-olds going a mile and a 16th. Catapult went off at the 9-5 favorite. Here's the stretch call.
Leads at a length and a half. Converge coming up the inside, but still has work to do. Catapult's going to come down from the outside, but still 6th, and they're all going to have to catch Shocky Mott, who has the lead by 3 lengths. Late run from JR's Holiday, Inspector Lindley, then Converge. It will be Shocky Mott and Emma Jane Wilson to take the Transylvania in front-running fashion.
So there you see Shocky Mott pulls it off, paying $14.20 to win. Sam, Amber, back to you.
Thank you so much, Brian. A final check of your First Alert forecast is next.
And then on the CBS Evening News, California receives a break from its drought as rain and snow finally returns to the Golden State. But is it enough to end the drought?
WKYT's First Alert Weather follows you wherever you go, on TV, online, on your phone, and throughout the day on Rewind 105.5.
When creating your dream home improvement, Stones and Granite brings the elegance and style of natural stone or quartz to your home. Both not only add beauty, but are durable, heat resistant, and easy to maintain. Please take us for granite at Stones and Granite of Lexington.
The world doesn't slow down for anyone. Neither do we. The bold 2016 Toyota Camry. Aggressively styled with available 18-inch wheels, dual exhausts, and the most advanced features right at your fingertips, including blind spot monitoring and wireless charging. Now get a new 2016 Camry with 0.9% financing for 72 months. Or lease this Camry now for only $189 a month. Toyota, let's go places.
On Jeopardy!
Come explore with us as we take you around Sutter's Fort State Park in July.
Join the Clue Crew as they pan for great clues.
Only on Jeopardy!
Jeopardy! Tonight at 7:30 on WKYT.
I have to like my doctors. I've got to feel like they have a personal interest in me. Not that I'm a basketball coach, but that I'm somebody they know and they are concerned about. I could go any place for my medical care, but I chose Danville and the Ephraim McDowell Medical Center.
A trusted leader in heart care, Ephraim McDowell Regional Medical Center, where excellence is our only standard.
Meet Kyle. You name it. Dust, pollen,
and pet dander.
He's allergic to it.
Stanley Steamer is the first carpet cleaning service to be certified asthma and allergy friendly, eliminating an average of 94% of common household allergens like dust, pollen, and pet dander for a cleaner, healthier home.
Goodbye, Mr. Steamer.
Bye, Kyle.
Call now about our $33 per room carpet cleaning special.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer, your certified cleaner.
It was a routine call, a code 7 at a local laundromat. What we saw, well, nothing can prepare you for it. We went in, we approached the victim. He was dying of boredom. Agents of play, sir. We got there just in time. We handed him a scratch-off ticket and watched him play.
Thank you.
Have fun. I'm serious. His smile, well, that's the only thanks we needed. It's what being an agent of play is all about.
Put a little play in your day, week, month, or year with these exciting new scratch-offs from the Kentucky Lottery. Fueling imagination, funding education.
It has been an interesting afternoon over there. I'm looking at your sky cam, and it keeps getting darker and darker.
Yeah, and you can actually see the rain and a little bit of sleet coming down into parts of Lexington right now. Look at our Defender Radar Network. Notice a little red southeastern Kentucky thunder and lightning with that around Manchester into Jackson, Breathitt County. We had some thunder and lightning with sleet here at the station on Winchester Road about an hour and a half or so ago. We'll continue to hang on to some flakes overnight.
All right. Brian, anything going on?
Yeah,
tonight?
UK baseball taking on Alabama, and they've already pushed back the start 30 minutes thanks to Mr. Bailey.
I'm working on it.
Start of a 3-game set.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us. We will see you back here at 11.
Have a good night.